Hello, I am so excited you are here. My name is Chase Williams, and I'm really looking forward to this training because when the holiday season approaches, some things happen. And so today we're going to be talking about holiday party success and how we can go into the holiday season with a really abundant mindset, a really planned out process, and really looking at to each and every event that we attend and really feeling successful coming out of the party and then also to going into the party. And so this season can feel really stressful to a lot of women. And the reason for that is because we hold so many high standards on our shoulders. And so when that happens, we start to create more stress in our life instead of being more calm and present. And it creates a lot of like, there's so much going on, right? And so today what we're going to talk about is just really how we can plan ahead going into every single party that we attend and making sure that we're staying on top of what we're trying to achieve in concerns to our fitness and nutrition goals and really feeling like we are winning our winter. So this is part of my Win Your Winter challenge that I'm hosting this year. And as you can tell, my guest room is now set up for Christmas. And so what a perfect holiday party training to host in, with a little bit of theme behind me. So again, excited you're here. So we're going to be talking about 3 tips and concerns to your food planning and nutrition space. And then we're going to go into 3 tips around your mindset and ways that you can go into your week and into your parties and into really this season and making sure that we are in the right mindset to continue with our consistency mode, to continue with the goals that we're trying to achieve, and really just making sure like we're on top of our brain. And so excited you're here. If you're watching this live, awesome. Glad you're here. Make sure that you comment live and let me know that you're watching this in live mode. And then also too, if you are joining me on replay, just comment replay again. That way I know that you caught this at a later time. So let's jump in, wasting no more time. This should be about 20 minutes or so. And so in any time that you feel an amazing nugget that you're like, oh my gosh, this is great, feel free to either shoot me a message, comment below, or even just like write it down. Like the more that we're aware of these things, like writing it down is going to really start connecting with actually processing the information that you're gathering. So again, let's jump in. So 3 tips. We're going to start with the nutrition space. And from there, we're going to be able to go into the mindset. So 3 full tips and concerns to winning in your nutrition when it comes to holiday parties. So first things first, make sure, like if you are going into let's just say it's a Friday night and you're like, I have a party coming up tonight, so I'm not going to eat all day. I'm just going to have whatever food we're having there. I know it's not going to be out. It's going to be, higher calories. And so I'm just not going to eat so I can eat at the party. Number 1, don't do that. That is not a good plan. So scratch that process, change that mindset around that. Go throughout your day as normal. So really pay attention to making sure that you're consuming God foods, right? If God created it, we consume it. And so focus on that whole foods type of eating throughout your day and making sure that you're getting in plenty of protein. Okay. So don't think that, because I have an event, because I have a dinner party, because I'm going into, whatever, a celebration, that does not mean that we switch up everything outside of it. Okay. So keep on track with what you're currently doing and making sure that you're ahead of the game. So in concerns to that, I want you to, number 1, first big tip, plan ahead. Okay. Plan ahead. Now, how you're going to plan ahead is I want you to really think about, okay, when I go to this party, what am I wanting to achieve at this party? Okay. What am I, do I want to eat at the party? Do I not want to eat at the party? Am I going to be staying for a long time? And am I going to be drinking? And so planning ahead really puts you into a place of like, hey, I've thought through my processes. I know what I want to do. I know where my boundaries are. And that way, when you get into the space, hey, I'm not going to be consuming XYZ foods, or I'm only going to consume XYZ foods, right? And so really knowing ahead of time what your intentions are going to be. And so again, planning ahead for your party. And that's in concerns to your food, your alcohol consumption, your boundaries. There's a lot of different spaces that just spend some time planning how you want the event to look. Okay. So next tip, that's tip number 1, planning ahead. Next tip is going to be eat before you go. When you get to these holiday parties, there's all kinds of food and yumminess and everything, which is great. And if you want to consume it and it was part of your plan, go for it. However, I would highly recommend making sure that you're consuming a high fiber, high vegetables, high protein type meal before you actually attend your party. And the reason for that is you're not more inclined to gorge or to make multiple plates or to eat in excess because you're either A, uncomfortable, you're either, I don't really know all these people that well, you're feeling funky. And so you eliminate all of that by making sure that you already fueled your body in a way that feels good. And so you're ready to move into, hanging out, or if it is drinking, again, backing to your plan, whatever is in your plan and whatever your intentions are going into this party. Okay. Next piece, my third piece in concerns to your nutrition is going to be go for the protein. Yes, go for your protein. So if you did not eat before and you did not have something, to fuel your body, start with making sure that you're getting in enough protein and really dive into whatever that protein item might be. It could be on the charcuterie board with like jerky or something, the pre-made turkey or the made ham or whatever it might be. Go for the protein, and then that way it fills you up a little bit faster and your body is able to not want as much. You're not going to have as many cravings if you have enough protein in your body. So really make sure that you're going for the protein first. And my bonus tip, so I gave you your 3. So number 1 is that planning ahead, set your intentions. Number 2 is eat before you go. And then number 3 is going to be go for the protein. And my bonus tip is going to be don't stand by the food. There's no point in standing there because what happens is you're just talking and throwing food, throwing calories into your body, and you're really you're not being intentional. Like you're probably not even aware of what you're eating. And so really stepping back away from the food, grab your water, grab your glass of wine, step away from the food and go hang out somewhere else. Really take your conversation to another area and enjoy that space. So those are your 3 tips in concerns to your food planning and prepping and preparing and being intentional with what you're wanting to consume. Okay, so if you've got something from that, I would love to hear what you're most excited about taking action in concerns to your nutrition space. So let me know, whether that's a comment below, shoot me a message, write it down some way. I want you to take what you heard, process it, and now I want you to say, hey, that's something I need to use and go forward with. And so let me know what that is for you. Okay. So let's kind of switch gears here a little bit because mindset is going to be key and really making sure that this is successful. Now, I want to let you know, like I am very much a person, if you think about it, if you really think about the amount of parties we go to or the events that we attend, there's probably between Halloween and New Year's, maybe six, maybe 8, depending on if you've got kids and you're going to kids' parties, right? And so 6 to 8. Now, if you think through that, that's only 6 to 8 meals through a 8-week period. And so when you really think through it, it's not that big a deal. However, so many of us get so worked up about this entire season and overdo ourselves in concerns to stress and chaos around us and planning 50 million things because we want to do all the Pinterest stuff, right? And we want to just be part of all the things. So I really want to kind of challenge you on some mindset shifts during this training and really want to like talk through some of this space because I'm going to start with your goals in alignment first. Then we're going to go into a little bit of a grace conversation. And then we're going to start talking about some stories. And I say stories like the little stories that this little guy talks to us, right? Your brain, all the things going through your brain. So first thing, let's talk through, I want you to think about where you're at. And just because it's the holidays doesn't mean give up on your goals. Start in January. Like, it doesn't matter. It's, whatever. Like, if you set a goal in January, or maybe you set that goal in this fall, whenever, just because it is the holiday season doesn't mean all the things go out the window. And so I want you to really pay attention. What are your goals? What are you trying to achieve? Like, are you in alignment? Are your actions really stating what you're saying you're wanting to achieve? And what I mean by that, if you say my goal is to lose 10 pounds, okay. Are your habits, are your routines, are your decisions, the way you're showing up, is all of that really aligned with what your goal is? And I say that to say, because when you go into a holiday party, a lot of people just go, meh, whatever, it's all out the door, or, oh, it's the holiday season, who cares? No, like, your health and your fitness routine and your nutrition routine is super important. And so pay attention to what you're saying. Pay attention to how you're showing up. And if you say you want to lose 10 pounds, great, stick to it. Like, continue showing up in a way that aligns with what you say you're wanting to achieve. And so when you go to the party and you're like, oh, my goal is to lose 10 pounds, is eating 3 servings of the queso like really aligning with your goals? Is standing there consuming all the puppy chow really aligning with your goals? And if it is, if you're in a whatever, like, my intention for this party was to not care, great, that's fine. However, is it aligning with what you say you're wanting to achieve? And I say that a lot because a lot of people say, like, I want to lose 10 pounds or whatever, but they don't want to shift or change how they're showing up in the world. And so if you really want to be on the other side of growth and on the other side of like seeing success, you have to make adjustments. And when I talk about the mindset, like, discipline is going to be key, and really paying attention to what you're doing and how you're showing up, even through the holiday parties. And so if you've told your neighbor friends, hey, I'm really wanting to lose 10 pounds, or I'm on a mission to lose 50 pounds, then you've told those people in your world what you're trying to achieve, yet you're at this party consuming a whole bunch of puppy chow. P.S. Puppy chow is like my favorite thing to eat during the holiday season. So again, kind of thinking through that, and is your actions, how you're showing up, does it align with what your goals are? And also too, when you're in a space with people that maybe aren't normally in your space and they make comments towards you, those comments do not reflect you. Okay. So whatever their thoughts are, or however they're tending to show up, has no reflection on you. So if they make a comment, oh, you're not eating tonight, or oh, you're not drinking tonight, like, why are you on a diet? It's the holidays. Who cares? Like, that's their own insecurities, and let those go. I want you to show up for you, and you make a stand for you, because that's where the growth happens, is when you really step into being the person that you're wanting to be. And if that person that is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds lighter, are they going to be showing up in the way that you're showing up right now? And if not, how is that person showing up? How can you show up in a way that really, really takes a stand for what you're saying that you're wanting to achieve? So, mindset tip number 1, think through where you are and how you're showing up in concerns to your goals and alignments. All right. So that's mindset tip number 1. Mindset tip number 2 is going to be what we call in Chaseland Fitness is called grace mode. Okay. Sometimes there are things that are going to come up in life, in the holiday season, whatever. I want you to have grace. If you went to the party and your intention was to have 1 glass of wine and maybe you had 3 or drank the whole bottle, because sometimes only 2 to 3 glasses are come out of a bottle anyways. However, if that happened and you had a great time and you showed up as your best self, okay, great. Now tomorrow at breakfast, you make a new decision. and you get back on track, and you don't sit there and dwell in the fact that you messed up. I use that as a quote because who cares? Like, it's over, it's done with. Now you just be like, okay, I'm reflecting on it, right? I'm going to reevaluate how I showed up. And now I'm going to realign with a new process, which is called the triple R, which is what we call triple R here in Chase Lynn Fitness. And so again, really paying attention to, how you're showing up. And if it didn't align with what your goals are, switch it and say, hey, you know what? I'm in grace mode. It's fine. Moving on. And you make the best decision for you that aligns with that goal, and take a stand for you on the next meal, during the next day, show up for your workouts, like whatever that looks like. And so really, grace mode is key. Don't sit there and dwell in the fact like, oh, I did it. Oh, I didn't eat well. Oh, I suck at this, blah, 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 blah. Which brings me to my next point. Stories that we tell ourselves is so important. So important. But if you're not paying attention to what those phrases are, or that verbiage is inside of your brain, then you're not going to be able to get onto the other side of this growth, on the other side of those, like really getting to that next level of you. And so what I want you to do is really think about, okay, the stories that I'm saying, if I'm at an event and I am, listening to people talk, and then I start to feel something, or I start to be like, oh my gosh, you're not as pretty as this person, or, oh, you're not as skinny as that person, or, oh, that person works out all the time. I'm just learning, like, I'm not as good, I'm not worthy enough to be here. FYI, I've had all of those same thoughts at a party, like at many different parties, like where you start to feel these major insecurities. Guess what? All of that is just a voice inside of your head talking to you. It is not true at all. And you know what? Everyone around you has their own voices and their own things that they're going through. They don't even care really about you. So get out of your head, quit telling yourself all these stories, and just lean into the best version of you. Really taking a stand for you, showing up as you. All right. And so again, 3 tips on that mindset is, again, think through where you're at, your goals, your alignment, right? Making sure you're in alignment. Number 2, having grace mode, stepping into that triple R, reflect, reevaluate, realign. All right. And then really paying attention to what stories you are telling yourself. So mindset is going to be key in making sure that you step into that party, you step into that role in the best version of you, and really paying attention to what you're doing, how you're showing up, and wanting to show up in a way that version of you, the goal of you, like your goals, that version, wherever she's at, you're going to step into that right now and act and behave and show up in a way that she shows up. All right. That's all I got for you guys. Hey, let's make your season a win. Let's stand up for yourself. Let's make a holiday party. Let's be successful at all these holiday parties that you're going to be attending, and really showing up in a way that is authentic and you. And I'm just so excited for you. So biggest takeaway, I want to know from you guys, biggest action step that you are going to be taking from this training. What is something that you were like, whoa, that hit me hard. I need to lean into that. I need to practice that. Because here's the deal. Learning and listening is great. But if you're not going to sit there and take any action or put any implementation into it, nothing's going to change. It's basically does absolutely nothing. So you wasted 25 minutes, 30 minutes here listening to me. And when you can actually take the information that you're learning and put it into action. So again, what is your number one takeaway? I want to know from you. And so drop it in the comments, share with me, send me a message, post in our Facebook, share what you are going to be taking action on in your holiday season. All right, those of you in my Win Your Winter Challenge, looking forward to seeing you again. Let's see, when is our next one? I think it's next week at 1:30, which we're going to be discussing your protein intake win. So how to win in your protein process. So we'll talk soon. And thank you so much for joining me. Love you guys.